Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Joshua. If you're not new here, welcome back. Thanks so much for coming back to my channel. Today we're going to be watching / I'm going to be reacting to every crazy Scream movie theory that might actually be true explained in 17 minutes by the YouTube channel Movies Explained, period. Mm. Ooh, damn, excuse me. So, baby, let's go ahead and dive on in, girl. Let's go ahead and dive on in, period. This first one right here, I've heard about it since Scream 6. I heard about it since Scream 6 came out and stuff. So yeah, let's hear how. Like cause I wanna know how. Cause I'm tired.
Last time Stu Macher is alive. The last time anyone saw Stu, he was bleeding all over a kitchen floor with an old box TV crushing his.
Yes. And these shits is heavy. These shits is heavy. That big back TVs.
Face. But here's the thing, there's never an actual death scene. He gets smashed with the TV, sure, but the camera doesn't give a dramatic close-up of his last breath. That alone's been enough to keep the theory alive for decades.
I mean shit. And he also got electrocuted. It electrocuted him. He was like, "Eh." And I thought he did take his final breath. Cause I've said it before. I've seen Scream multiple times and I love it. It's one of my favorite, not just horror movies, but one of my favorite movies, period. And he was like, like that's why I remember him saying he was like, I thought, okay.
Then there's Matthew Lillard himself casually declaring that Stu's definitely alive and like he's just waiting for someone to hand him the Ghostface mask again. And let's not ignore Scream 6 throwing
Oh my
shade at his
God.
supposed death by having characters joke about it. That felt less like a throwaway line and more like a breadcrumb left by writers who know exactly what they're doing. Scream 7 rumors have mostly confirmed Stu will return in one way or another. Will he be a ghost like Billy? Maybe a flashback? We will soon see. Between all that, the lack of an on-screen kill, actor commentary, meta dialogue, and legit early scripts where he's still alive, the theories got fire. Stu's TV-tossed ending might just be
Early
the best
scripts?
misdirection in horror history. Gale planned the original Woodsboro murders, that's the theory, and it's got just enough smoke to make people start checking her luggage for Ghostface robes. From the jump, Gale's been laser focused on one thing, her career. She turned Maureen Prescott's murder into a launching pad, then rode the chaos all the way to bestseller status with her book, The Woodsboro Murders. The theory spins out from there. What if she didn't just report on the story but helped create it? Gale had the motive, fame, fortune, and a front row seat to the carnage. She had the access too, weaving through the crime scenes and police lines like she had a backstage pass. Fan theories push the idea that she could have nudged Billy and Stu in the right direction, planting ideas, maybe even manipulating them from the sidelines like some horror movie producer with blood on her clipboard. The best part? She profits the most. Everyone else ends up dead, traumatized, or forgotten, and Gale's turning it into a career goldmine. The theory doesn't need her holding the knife, it just needs her pulling a few strings. When the person documenting the horror ends up the most successful, some fans start wondering if she helped write the script before the killing even started. By the way, if you guys like movie content like this, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, Stu and Billy were half-brothers. That theory flips their motive and the entire foundation of the first Scream. Everyone remembers Stu as the chaotic sidekick.
Yeah, exactly. The Gale Weathers one, yeah, that could. I really don't believe that it's true. However, it could be. But yeah, cause her ass almost died in the sixth one. But no, still. So okay, so no, they said for the first Scream. So every Scream after that, every motherfucker, crazy motherfucker after that, Gil, I guess, probably didn't have anything to do with. But then again, she did because I think some of them, I'm pretty sure some of them or all of them were inspired by Stu and Billy. But still, that that would be so interesting and so fucking crazy if that bitch ended up being, again, I highly doubt it, but if she ended up being the motherfucking one of the motherfucking ghost faces. Or well, no, not just a ghost face, but if she like, told like said something to Billy, Stu, or whoever. Or both, Billy and Stu.
Grinning his way through murder like a kid playing dress up with a knife. But if he and Billy shared more than just homicidal hobbies, if they shared blood, then suddenly, that loyalty makes a lot more sense. According to the theory, once Billy found out about Maureen Prescott's affair with his dad, he started digging and found out that Hank Loomis had a second secret, a son with Stu's mom. That would make Stu the literal byproduct of Hank's cheating and Billy's half-brother. It's a twist that would explain why Stu was so ride or die throughout the plan, even letting them use his house as the murder headquarters. It was more than friendship, it was revenge. Revenge against a family that lied, broke apart, and left both of them to rot emotionally. It gives Stu's erratic behavior a new edge. Maybe he wasn't just doing it for fun. Maybe he was lashing out at the parents who built their lives on secrets. And it would mean the Ghostface killings started with betrayal, family, and blood. Roman appeared in the original Scream. That theory takes the big twist from Scream 3 and shoves it straight into the original without asking permission. Roman's reveal as Sidney's half-brother and the puppet master behind Billy and Stu already caused chaos with the timeline, but this theory tightens the strings even more. There's that moment in the first film when Sidney's being stalked by Ghostface at her house, while Billy and Stu are clearly at the video store. It's one of those weird gaps fans never forgot. If both killers are accounted for, then who's behind the mask? Enter Roman. According to the theory, he was already in Woodsboro, already lurking, already wearing the costume. It wasn't just him pulling the strings off screen, it was him physically stepping in when the timeline needed a third body. That cameos would connect his story back to the very beginning, making him not just the originator of the motive, but also an active presence in the chaos. It would mean Roman sent Billy and Stu to help execute his own plan. Literally. If true, Roman was the ghost in the mask before anyone even knew his name, pulling strings all along. The Ghostface mask is a supernatural entity.
I've been heard about this. I've been heard about this. Okay, I'm gonna have to rewatch, baby. I'm gonna have to. So Roman, I think I remember that, but I just didn't pay that much attention. So Roman is the one that told Billy and Stu about Maureen Prescott, Sidney Prescott, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna have to rewatch, bitch. I'm gonna have to rewatch Scream again, bitch. Shit. So Stu and Billy weren't there. Stu and Billy, Stu and Billy, they were at the video store when Sidney was attacked. But I thought that when Sidney was attacked, no, that was the first time. Oh my god, yep, I'm gonna have to rewatch Scream. Period. But I thought that was the second time. And he bust out of the motherfucking closet and then she ran upstairs and shit. But that would make sense. But at the same time, this being supernatural, it being supernatural, I was thinking of that too. Because Sydney ran upstairs. They're in a two-story house. So when the killer is gone, leaves and shit, all of a sudden Billy, I remember, Billy appears at her window. Billy climbed up that fast, climbed up that motherfucker that fast. Girl,
Every time someone puts it on, they suddenly turn into this silent ninja with a thirst for chaos and a real flair for theatrical knife work. That's not normal.
No tea, no shade. No tea, no shade. It didn't happen to Gail. It didn't, cause there were. Well, yeah, there's multiple masks. There's multiple. Yeah, there's multiple. But it didn't happen to Gail, cause Gail put it on in Scream 4, in Scream 4 for like 15 seconds or whatever.
The mask practically rewires them. Across every movie, no matter who's underneath, Ghostface moves the same, strikes the same, and somehow survives injuries that would drop a linebacker. One killer's a teen, another's a cop, another's a film student, but slap on the mask and suddenly they're dodging bullets, vanishing behind corners like they've got teleportation powers and pulling off kills with eerie injuries that would drop a linebacker. One killer's a teen, another's a cop, another's a film student, but slap on the mask and suddenly they're dodging bullets.
Say what? I remember that's a theory. Okay, they might talk about the theory in this, but a theory is that Dewey is one of the killers. I don't remember. I think I heard something about Randall being the killer too, but not as much as Dewey. Because no tea, no shade. Tatum is his sister. Yeah, Tatum is his sister and she died and he didn't. But at the same time, we didn't see his reaction. He probably found out. He probably again, I gotta rewatch Scream, but he probably found out like later, like I don't know, and he probably cried about it and stuff. So
Vanishing behind corners like they've got teleportation powers and pulling off kills with eerie precision. The theory says the mask is cursed or possessed or channeling something older and darker. The behavior is always ritualistic too. The voice, the taunts, the slow knife wipe. It's like a performance possessed by the same script no matter the actor. Fans argue that the consistency in Ghostface's actions, same script no matter the actor.
This was crazy. Yeah, Scream 6. Scream 6. This was, yeah, the brother and sister. Were they twin? No, they wasn't twins. They wasn't twins. Yeah, they I remember that. They did that shit. Say, bitch.
Fans argue that the consistency in Ghostface's actions points to something supernatural embedded in the costume itself. The killers change, but the force behind Ghostface doesn't. The mask is the monster. Once it's on, the person under it's gone, swallowed up by whatever twisted force keeps coming back for more blood. Sidney is the mastermind behind Scream 6. That's the theory, and if it's true, then the franchise's original final girl just flipped the script harder than anyone saw coming. After finding out Sam is Billy Loomis's daughter born from a secret high school affair, Sidney vanished, not in fear, but with purpose. The theory says she orchestrated the killings in Scream 6 to wipe out what was left of the Loomis bloodline. Sam was never supposed to survive. Sidney's plan was to end the cycle by eliminating the source. She even allegedly told the killers to target Gail, just to sell the illusion that legacy characters weren't safe, taking all eyes off her. Hiding out gave her clean distance from the bloodshed, and no one questioned the absence, because who would suspect the girl who survived it all? According to the theory, it all would have worked if not for a few complications. Kirby stepping in, Chad and Mindy refusing to die despite several stab wounds, and Danny calling the cops before the final act could wrap. Sidney may have been behind the curtain, pulling every string. Cops and Mindy refusing to die despite several stab wounds, and Danny calling the cops before the final act could wrap.
My bad. He looked like him. I thought that was him. Okay, he looked like him a little bit.
Sidney may have been behind the curtain, pulling every string, trying to end the story once and for all with blood. Danny is Scream 6's fourth killer. He somehow
don't think Sydney would do that. However, that would be crazy and it would show how much trauma she has been through, bitch. If it's true, bitch, she has been through, girl. She pretty much snapped, cause girl, you're trying to kill. Oh no, never mind. No, I was about to say two, but no. Billy only had one. The older sister, the other, the Jenna Ortega's character. That's from. Okay. Yeah, like you're trying to kill an innocent girl, an innocent woman. So I don't believe, girl. She most definitely snapped, girl. And how much money did, girl? How much money would Sydney have to have paid that nigga and his kids? She got the nigga, that cop dude, and his daughter and son. I mean, shit. Allegedly him. I gotta listen to the theory. And allegedly him. To what? Yeah, Scream. Yeah, he said. Yeah, they said Scream 6, right? Scream 6, Scream 6. Yeah.
Sydney is the mastermind behind Scream 6.
Okay, yeah, Scream 6. Okay.
His fourth killer. He somehow dodges every knife, never gets a threatening phone call, and spends most of the third act standing outside like a guy waiting on his Uber. Fans notice that fast. He's dating Sam, deep inside the Core Force trust circle, but still manages to stay completely untouched while chaos erupts around him. That's not luck, it's plot-proof behavior, and this theory calls it out hard. In the subway sequence, he conveniently breaks off with one character, leading them straight into danger, then disappears just long enough to raise eyebrows. And then there's the franchise habit of tossing in an extra killer who doesn't get unmasked in the final showdown. Scream 6 reveals 3 ghost faces, but there's room for one more, especially with Danny getting benched during the climax. His exclusion is suspicious. He's never targeted, never chased, and the one person who should be high on the killer's list somehow floats through the entire film without a scratch. Fans point to that as classic misdirection. The sweet, quiet boyfriend who's just a little too helpful, a little too observant, and a little too absent when it matters. If there's a fourth mask, it might already be in his closet. Dewey is the real mastermind behind the saga.
Girl, Jesus Christ. Okay, not girl, not the mastermind. Oh my god. No tea, no shade. I mean, that's every Scream movie. Every Scream movie, you're like, it might be him. Where she been? Heifer might have been her. Like shit like that. So yeah, okay, cause that is true. If I remember correctly, he did like I seen Scream 5 twice, and that was last year or a while ago. Last year, yeah. So yeah, he might, yeah. We'll have to. No, that was the sixth one. Yeah, that was the sixth one. Okay. Okay, yeah. I be getting 5 and 6 confused a little bit. Okay, so the sixth one, we'll have to find out in the seventh. I didn't see him in the trailers for the seventh one. So, but again, I said I reacted to the Scream 7 trailer. It's on my main and my secondary channel. I think I think it's on both of those channels. Yes, my main and my secondary channel. And I remember saying I believe there's going to be 8 Scream movies because in Scream 5 they show, you know, those stab movies that's inside the Scream universe. In Scream 5, if I remember correctly, Stab 8 was the last movie, and they said it was the worst movie. So I believe Scream 8 is going to be the last Scream movie, either period or I doubt period, but or having to deal with Sydney and the whole Sydney Prescott saga, girl, like the Skywalker saga. Even though the next Star Wars movies, I'm pretty sure they're still going to mention General Leia, Skywalker, Yoda. But anyways, yeah. So I believe Scream 8 is going to be the last movie. Hopefully, it's not bad. Hopefully, it won't be bad like like Stab 8. Shit, talk about they had a blowtorch, flamethrower, and a goddamn time traveling girl. In Scream 8, they better not say shit. They better not do shit with no time traveling. If someone has a flamethrower, like being funny, whatever, has a flamethrower, then okay. But otherwise, then girl, please. And then it was like some buff dude in a silver mask. They can have that too, but I mean, you know, like just someone, I guess at a party, Halloween party or something. Anyways, Lord, let's listen to this girl, do we?
It's the kind of theory that sounds ridiculous until you start lining up the facts. He's been there since day one.
Girl,
Theory that sounds ridiculous until you start lining up the facts.
y'all make me sick. Not Scary Movie. Cause yeah, that was in Scary Movie. That was in Scary Movie. Dewey Doofy. He was the mastermind basically.
He's been there since day one, surviving stabbings, dodging death like it's a game, always close to the action, but never quite part of the body count. Fans have pointed out that Dewey never disappears. No matter how brutal the killings get, he walks away with a limp and a sad look, like a man who knows too much. And apparently Wes Craven once considered making him a secret third killer in the original film, which only adds gasoline to this fire. Across the entire series, Dewey's always conveniently near the chaos, always investigating, always attached to the people in power, and always somehow making it out alive. Until recently, of course. But
Yep.
even that has people wondering if his death was just another misdirection. He's linked to the victims, romantically tangled with the woman cashing in on the murders, and personally tied to key players in every movie. His sister dies early, sure, but that's a move straight out of the villain playbook. Sacrifice something to protect the secret. Dewey might not be the fool everyone thinks he is. Maybe he's just been playing the long game. The third killer theory. In Scream 5, fans are still arguing about who else was holding the knife. Sure, Richie and Amber get unmasked, but the math never quite adds up. Ghostface shows up in places they physically shouldn't be able to reach, survives beatings that should leave more than a limp, and pulls off timing that feels suspiciously slick for just 2 people. One Ghostface gets shot
That was still like some bullshit. That was still like some bullshit. Cause that happened. Girl, she got stabbed up, girl. And girl, in public. She died in public, girl. In broad daylight, in a seemingly white neighborhood, girl. I'm tired.
multiple times by Dewey and still reappears clean and ready for round 2. That moment alone lit up Reddit like a murder mystery hotline.
No tea, no shade. Any Ghostface that gets shot multiple times, they're probably wearing a bulletproof vest. Like I'm pretty, yeah, that was Roman. Yeah, Roman, like he showed like they showed earlier in the video. Like in Scream 3, Roman had on a bulletproof vest. Roman. Don't you start worrying about Roman, darling. Listen, he's off the boarding school. Oh Lord. But yeah, yeah. like Roman. Roman be wearing a bulletproof vest, so I'm pretty sure, in my opinion, the other niggas
Articles from major
be wearing bulletproof vests.
fan sources break it down, pointing out gaps in the timeline and strange logistics that don't stick with just Richie and Amber. Scenes unfold where Ghostface appears in locations neither killer could have reasonably been, based on what we know from the final act. This third killer idea has been floating around since the original movie, and Scream 5 just throws more fuel on it. The franchise has always flirted with the idea of a hidden player, and this film continues the tradition. Fans point to those eerie inconsistencies as the clearest sign. Someone else was behind the mask. Someone's still out there. Someone who never got caught when the credits rolled. The Scream TV show was a failed series and ripoff of Stab within the Scream universe.
A Robert Rodriguez film. Damn, not failed. Damn.
Mask. Someone's still out there. Someone who never got caught when the credits rolled. The Scream TV show was a failed series and ripoff of
Oh, that's the oh. Oops. I thought they were still talking about the thing. I thought they were gonna say something about the Scream series did something right or whatever.
Stab within the Scream universe. The theory spins the whole failed series and ripoff of Stab within the Scream universe. The theory spins the whole franchise on its head, arguing that Stab, not Scream, is the real horror series in universe, and the Scream TV show from 2015 is just a gritty, lower-budget attempt to dramatize the same events with less flair and way more trauma. Stab is treated like a legit blockbuster within the world of Scream.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
With 8 sequels, merchandising, and premiere screenings. Characters in Scream actually go to the theater to watch Stab, scream at the screen, and treat it like the horror phenomenon. Meanwhile, the Scream show follows the real events, which makes it feel more like a docudrama than a traditional slasher series. That's where the failed TV show angle comes in. It's almost like the show is the rebooted dramatization. Too realistic, too raw, not as glossy. The in-universe commentary even makes fun of Stab's quality declining while still acknowledging its success. And Scream itself often leans into that weird meta vibe, like it's annoyed that Stab gets all the fame. Scream itself often leans into that weird meta vibe, like it's annoyed that Stab gets all the fame while it handles the actual trauma. Fans point out that the show acts like it's telling the real story, but feels more like a passion project that never hit wide release. Stab
I seen the Scream series. So the way that they was just saying it and then like throwing shit on it basically, and throwing shade and shit, throwing shady shit at it. It seemed like so what? Okay, Wes Craven, may he rest in peace. He had nothing. When did he pass? So Wes Craven had nothing to do with the series? I thought he had nothing to do with the series. I thought he. Well, you know how companies are. So Wes Craven. So who had control over it at the time? Miramax, Universal. They might have sold it, gave it to Netflix, shared it with Netflix. I don't know, something like that, or maybe not. Shit, maybe neither. Child. Okay, okay, child. Oh, excuse me. But no tea, no shade. From what I remember, I actually kind of liked the series. And the third season was, girl, the third season was a different universe, girl, or was pretty much in a different city. Because I don't remember them saying anything in the third season. I don't remember them saying anything about um. I don't remember them saying anything about what happened before or whatever. So yeah, no tea no shade. I kind of liked it from what I can remember from it, and even the third and final season, I kind of liked it. Oh, but if I remember correctly, now the third and final season, the third season, the third season had the original mask from the Scream movie franchise. Plus, it was the third season was years later, with pretty much a all black cast. So yeah, me personally, I liked it. I kind of liked it.
Stabs the franchise. Scream project that never hit wide release. Stabs the franchise. Screams the underground spin-off. Roman was also Billy's brother. This theory digs into the tangled mess of Ghostface family drama and throws in one more twist. Roman and Billy were actually blood related. We already know Roman is Sidney's half-brother, born from Maureen Prescott's secret past, but Roman's obsession with Maureen led him straight to Billy, handing over home video proof of her affair with Billy's dad, which basically lit the fuse on the original killings. That deep personal knowledge, combined with the way Roman pulls Billy into his revenge plan, doesn't feel like a
Bitch, I was about to say that's incest, but then again, no. No. No tea, no shade. I'm a bit confused. However, it's a theory, so it's just a theory.
stranger's move. It feels personal. Fans noticed that and started connecting the dots. There's a line in the fandom wiki that paints Billy as Roman's former mentee and even links Roman to Sam, Billy's daughter, through a kind of twisted legacy. While there's no on-screen confirmation about Roman being Hank Loomis's son too, the theory suggests he might be another secret from Hank's past, making Billy and Roman half-brothers through their father. That would make Sidney and Billy's romance even more horrifying in retrospect, but honestly, that's on brand for Scream's level of dark family revelations. According to this theory, Roman was family, plotting revenge alongside his own
I thought he was gonna say something about incest.
brother. Angelina is the second killer in Scream 3.
Yep, heard about this.
The movie only reveals Roman, but behind the scenes, there's a whole other story. Production notes confirm Angelina was originally written as his accomplice, and they even shot scenes with that in mind. Her motive? Fame, connection to Sidney, and probably a love of dramatic mask wearing. The theory gets louder when you watch the Stab 3 set attack. Sidney's ambushed from two directions at once, which would be physically impossible for Roman to pull off solo unless he's suddenly teleporting. Then there's Angelina's so-called death. She's dragged off screen with a half-hearted scream, and no one ever actually checks for a pulse. In the official trilogy booklet, she's not even listed in the body count. That's not a death, that's a disappearing act. The fandoms had a field day with this one, digging into her sketchy reactions, odd behavior, and the fact that she always seems to be nearby when things go sideways. Alternate scripts reveal she was supposed to be a ghost face, and cutting that twist in post-production doesn't erase the evidence baked into the film. Angelina wasn't just a victim. According to the theory, she was Roman's partner, and she nearly got away with it. Dewey chose to sacrifice himself. That's what this theory lays out, and it lines up a little too perfectly to ignore. He starts the film grizzled, wounded, and completely over the trauma parade. He's got the limp, the nerve damage, and the scars, both emotional and literal. And yet, when things get bloody again, he shows up. He saves Tara, helps the new group, and then makes the one decision no one else wanted, going back alone to finish Ghostface.
Yep.
That moment is quiet, deliberate, like a cowboy walking back into the saloon with full knowledge he might not walk out. The filmmakers even said they styled his final act like a Western hero's last stand. Dewey doesn't run, he doesn't freeze, and he doesn't play dumb. He goes back knowing exactly how many times he's been stabbed, how vulnerable he is, and how dangerous Ghostface can be, and he does it anyway. Not to prove anything, but to protect the others, to make sure it ends. His death was a curtain call he wrote himself, right down to the timing. According to the theory, Dewey decided it was time to go. Randy is alive. That's the theory fans keep clinging to like a VHS copy of Stab, and it's not without some fuel. In Scream 2, Randy's like a VHS copy. Go. Randy is alive. That's the theory fans keep clinging to like a VHS copy of Stab, and it's not without some fuel. In Scream 2, Randy's dragged into a van mid-call with Ghostface, and that's the last we see of him alive. No slow-motion death, no lingering goodbye, just a scream and blood on the window. It's suspiciously vague for a character that important. Then, there's the alternate script floating around, one where Randy survives his attack. That version never made it to theaters, but fans took it as a sign that maybe his death was more flexible than it looked. When he reappears in Scream 3, it's through a pre-recorded tape. A nice touch, sure, but also to work around that keeps him technically out of the grave. There's nothing stopping a fake out in a world where a Ghostface has survived worse. Add to that the fact that Randy was one of the only characters who understood the rules of horror better than the killers themselves, and it's not hard to picture him vanishing into the background to escape the sequel curse. The official line says he's gone, but the fans? They say he played dead, escaped the van, and might still be out there. Quietly surviving the franchise he understood better than anyone. The killers target victims who did not break the rules in Scream 2. It flips the formula in a way that's easy to miss unless you're looking closely. In the first film, Randy lays out the survival rules. No sex, no drinking, no saying dumb things like "I'll be right back." Classic horror commandments. But in the sequel, the pattern changes. Instead of punishing those who break the rules, the killers seem to be going after the ones who follow them. It starts right away. The opening victims are just trying to watch a movie. No wild behavior, no partying, just popcorn.
Girl, I just took notice of that, girl. Girl. 3 black people got killed in the second Scream movie. I just took notice of that. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, but they said that the second movie they killed them because their names something about they have the same names from the first movie from like something like that. Like was her name? I think her name Marine. It's some girl. It's something like that. I can't. Uh, yeah. And they s- and I'm guessing because Randy said that that dude was in there. He was listening to Randy. So I guess because Randy said that, he was like, well, no, this happened before Randy said it. Yeah, this happened before Randy said it. Well, so yeah. So I'm pretty sure the dude was even more so like, okay, bet. He's definitely gonna start killing all willy nilly. Him and Billy's mom.
And trauma. Then, you've got characters like Cece, who's home alone, sober, not hooking up, and still gets launched off a balcony like she offended a ghost. Meanwhile, others who do break the so-called rules last a lot longer. That contrast is where this theory finds its legs. The sequel's body count seems to hit people who are cautious, restrained, or otherwise playing it safe. Fans argue that the killers are intentionally subverting the original rules, turning expectations upside down to make the sequel feel more chaotic. Instead of punishing sin, they punish safety. It's a reversal that adds an extra layer to the madness and keeps the so-called rules in constant question. If you enjoyed this, I post movie content a lot here. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Kevin is Jigsaw.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that theory. Girl, I'm so tired, girl. Let me tell y'all, girl. These some good ass theories though. But like I said, some of them I've heard. Oh shit. But yes, child. Yes, I that last one. Yeah, that was crazy. The second Scream movie, I liked it. Yeah, and I didn't pay attention to that. I didn't notice that killing motherfuckers all willy nilly, basically killing them all willy nilly from, and they're not committing any type of sins. They ain't be out there being whores or nothing. Just killing them just because, girl. But yeah, shout out to Movies Explained. Yeah, shout out to them, baby. Thank y'all so much for watching. Thank y'all so much for stopping by. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And make sure y'all, oh Jesus. Make sure y'all like, comment, share. Make sure y'all like, comment, and share if you want to. Only if you want to. I can't make you do shit you don't want to do. Only if you want to. Okay? And also make sure y'all love and take care of yourselves. Child, it's time for me to go to bed. Make sure y'all love and take care of yourselves mentally, verbally, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Bye bye. See y'all later.